Greetings and welcome, everyone. We're back here in Monsters and Memories on our Druid. If you're new to the channel or just seeing this game for the first time, I'm going to go over the opening spiel. I am Salty EQ Vet, or the Salty EQ Vet, otherwise known as Brent. I'm a longtime MMO player and retired combat veteran, and I am showcasing Monsters and Memories. It is a classically inspired MMO RPG based off of old school titans like EverQuest. There are other influences on this game like Star Wars Galaxies, RuneScape, and what have you. But the main inspiration is probably EverQuest. Now they're trying to do a one-for-one for EverQuest. They're trying to make their own thing, and they very much are in certain areas. But if you're an EverQuest veteran and you'll be in your feet singing this game for the first time, you're going to feel right out. And right now we're checking out the Druid. We have been doing some things on it. We're at level 10 now, so we've been on it for a bit. It did receive a class update when I started playing, a complete new revamp of it. What the heck? There we go. And so while I was off yesterday, I discovered some new things while just like kind of looking at other Druid players. Because I'm not a Druid main. This is the first time I'm ever playing Druid, so if I'm not playing correctly, you'll have to forgive me. I'm typically a fighter main or some type of martial class, where I can like understand it better. It's a bit more straightforward for me. What I didn't understand, sometimes I kind of thought that you would replace certain spells with the upgraded spells, and for the most part that's true. As of right now, we can apply 2 dots. I didn't know that, so I was just applying 1 dot. So this minor frostbite does 20 damage over a minute, and then the swarm of mites does 60 damage over a minute. So we apply those 2, and then we have prickly barrier. We got a lot of damage coming at the mobs that we're taking on. So we don't need a whole lot of skill-based tank. So like parry, dodge, block. Typically, I like having that on the character. I don't feel right without it, but you know. So I kind of have to get used to that. But the actual active tank comes in from like actual heals and passive healing. Hots. Heal over time. Hots and dots. Alright, so we got about 20. Let's go ahead and buff up. Let's up our game. Let's send some magic here. We're going to apply that so in case we want to buff our fellow adventurers, you can see what buffs are already applied, so we don't have to waste our magic rebuffing them. Speed of the Wild is a big one. Alright, then we're going to take Woods. Oh, we already got Woodskin on here. Okay, Woodskin, up. We need Prickly Barrier. Prickly Barrier, I'm sorry. Call it Prickly Barrier? Prickly Barrier. Anyways, wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day. Oh, yes. Mantle of Winter. Okay, so I'm jumping the gun a little bit here. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get used to like the setup with the Druid. There's a bit of spell swapping on the ability bar. Not too unlike the Cleric. The Cleric is the only class or healer class that I'm actually familiar with, and that's from years ago. I haven't played healer in a very, very long time, unless you want to count battlefield medics and what have you. Alright, so this is going to take a long time to wind back up. We got about an hour on our buff, so we can remove that. We can go ahead and open up our book here and put something else. Now I could put Touch of Nature. That might be a bit more helpful to us for the time being. We will see. Sense Magic, that's going to be about another hour, so we can remove that and put something else. What do we need, guys? We can put Cure Disease on here if we really need to. Probably a good idea since I'm going to be going to a spot where there are going to be diseased animals, so I'm going to put that on there. Winter's Chill is a bit more confusing to me. I don't understand like what the use case is. So you freeze your target winter spell, 17 cold damage, decreasing their movement speed by 25% for 3 seconds. So I'm not really entirely sure. What's the mana cost? 23. What's the mana cost? Yeah, so it costs more, does less damage, but does snare them for like 3 seconds. I don't know if that spell is that. You need to take a look at that spell. Unless you guys have a certain build with it, I just don't know. We are in the season of winter. I don't know if that's such a good idea to be in. So, druids have seasons. Right now we're in the damage season because we've been casting damage spells. Or I hit the Mantle Winter, which will automatically put that in there, but I mean, I like it for the buffs, not necessarily for the damage. We don't really need that. We do need, well, that's okay. We'll see what we can, we'll see how we handle our mana management. Alright, I should be good to go. Here we go. Alright, we got ourselves a Speed of the Wild, Wood Skins. Let's cast Prickly Barrier on this guy. Give him some... Give him some extra damage for his leveling abilities. Every time I play this game, when I'm not on the Druid, I see other Druids like pass me by and they'll just randomly buff me, so I like to return the favor. So there is a hidden dungeon over here that I had no idea it existed, and I was like, oh, cool. Because the only other hidden dungeon I know of is like the Ashara. I think that's how you pronounce it, because I heard Sean pronounce it last night like that. Oh, the stream itself is a few days old. We got a bunch of diseased wolves here. We can probably bypass them. And we can take on old elven skeletons. So if I were to... Alright, first apply the... And the Swarm of Mites. Right, Swarm of Mites again. Because it's more mana efficient to do the dot than it is the direct damage. There we go. We're going to do that for this guy too. Sometimes you gotta get punched in the face. That's okay, we need to get into spring. So look how much damage those dots did. I know that Shaman gets some really good buffs. I really don't want a Rusty Lance, I don't need it. Do I need it? Maybe. Rusty Lance. Take a look at my field pack here. My pouches. We'll try to combine everything. Cloth padding. Oh, I didn't drop off the cloth padding. You know, I always kind of just forget something, and I'm not sure why I forget something. Let's go ahead and go to... Is that a sharpening stone or is that a weighty stone? There we go. Weight stone, brittle weight stone. There we go. That's what buffs our mace, is the weight stone, not the sharpening stone. Makes sense. Checks out. Alright. Got the first dot applied, going for the second. So really I just kind of have to outlast this dude. Let's apply the hot. Let me go ahead and cast a damage spell. I'm getting a little worried about our mana consumption. There we go. I know for the archer I need those rune edge things. Alright, where were we? We were condensing our pouches. Do I have any bones anywhere else? I'll put that in the pouch. It doesn't belong in this field pack. Field pack is for bigger items. And then we have it attuned along our lodestone. I don't have any free space right now. That's okay. We can go ahead and we'll apply another hot. Go and put ourselves on attack mode. Hit the skeleton with minor frostbite. Always gets interrupted at the last second. I should really... What I need to do is I need to do Twisting Roots. How much is Twisting Roots? 15 mana cost, so I mean, like, that's... compared to my damage. Yeah, see how much we're doing. We have the prickly barrier, and then we have the 2 dots. We have our auto attack going. So, I mean, we can manage, right? We're definitely not bad at this damage thing. How we do damage is the question. We are having a bit of a late start. I try to start at like 10 o'clock. Right now we're started at around like 11. So, not really apologizing for it, you know. Adult things do happen. And sometimes I need a break, you know. I need to, like, hey, you know what? I need to relax a bit before I get on stream. A little bit too tense. I'm gonna go make myself a sandwich. Okay, so hidden dungeon I discovered yesterday. Let's go take a look at that. A skeleton right here. We got a. It's a blue con. Why not? We need the crafting material anyways to. Probably should open up a swarm of mites and then minor frostbite. He's got some shoulder pads on. I'll take those. Oh, where's my prickly barrier? It's only a 10-minute spell. We gotta up our game here. There we go. I feel like bludgeoning should hurt skeletons more and undead in general. Just feels right. I mean, from a game perspective, I'll ask the devs about that. Not that they particularly want to talk to me, but this is my idea. I like the Valheim way of doing things. You have certain mobs that are weak to certain damage types. Bludgeoning, skeletons should be a bit more. Should take more damage from bludgeoning versus like piercing, right? Gives you a point to like have to use different weapon types. Okay, so here is the... This is a hidden wall, much like the Ashara. Or is Shari? I gotta take a look again. I got this tiny little hole. Now we do have invisibility, so I don't know if we keep going. This might be a problem. We'll head down. We didn't have to come that way, but I think we just hit this button. Yeah, we actually just have to double click on it. It doesn't tell you, it doesn't highlight either, so. Nope. I really want a cleric, because cleric is the only one that can res in the game. And plus it's, they're doing something different from like the paladin that I knew. So the paladin cleric kind of like shared the responsibility of like being the undead hunters or whatever. Seems like the cleric, now, I didn't play cleric for that long on EverQuest, I'll be honest. I did play it though. So other people who have played cleric that may want to tell me if that's always been the case, or is that just kind of like a new thing? Because that seems to be the sole responsibility of the cleric, is like, hey, you know what? You are a undead crusader. Well, you go crusading for like the undead, basically, and that's kind of like the motif of the class, and I like that. I did that on the cleric when I was in EverQuest. I did that on the paladin when I was in EverQuest. It doesn't seem like there's any. Let's see. Let's go /go who. Oh, come on. There we go. I don't know why it's not showing. Not too many people are here. Shame. And the problem is, I don't think I can use camouflage to go down in there. Out in the wild, though, I can use camouflage. I think I can use camouflage here. We'll remove Cure Disease for right now, since we're not really using it. We'll go ahead and hit camouflage on here, and we'll figure this out. See if I can go in, if they consider this area indoors. They do not. They consider this the outside. I shouldn't be able to cast this. Lasts about 10 minutes. Does it? Oh, that's a good, you know, let's go ahead and test it. So we can cast it outside, and then let's go inside the dungeon and see if it stays. It should. I don't know if it will, but it most certainly should. I don't know what's back here. These orc camps have probably been cleared out. Oh, wow. So, again, your spells have a chance to just fizzle out for whatever reason. So it's definitely a bit more of a dangerous world. Let's go ahead and you go down the mine shaft. Okay. Yeah, it works. Okay. We don't need to test it anymore. I don't have a group to go in there, so I am definitely not the person. You know what? Here's a good... I think Speed of the Wild is a good cantrip to have. In case I die. I think that's a good one. So, I mean, it could be either Camouflage or Speed of the Wild. Speed of the Wild, typically, if you're playing smart. Although, you know, it's debatable whether or not I actually do smartly play this game. So we got an illusionary wall. Whoa, bloom. So I can pass right in front of this guy and he won't see me. Alrighty. And the minute you cast a damage spell, you'll come out of hiding. Now I really gotta take a look at the archer again to see. Barrier. Okay, to see because they get camouflage. They get some sort of like invisibility, and I really want to check that out. So we might switch over to the archer. But I wanted to hop on here first and take a look and see, like, oh, if I put 2 dots on my ability bar, let's see how much. It seems to be, yeah, it seems to be fairly mana efficient to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and open up our. There we go. Okay, I'll leave that for the archers. Hey, got it off that time. I like that. I like the damage over time. You don't have to do a whole lot. These are all green to me. We got 4 minutes on our counter. What we do need to do is we need to go out foraging for some wood. Let's see if I have any wood on me. What about in here? Okay. Okay. Nope. Okay. So we need stuff and things. Things and stuff. We'll take out that. We're gonna aggro everything. Alright, well. This is what we'll do. Because we can't even collect that because of these mobs. We can try to collect that, but all those skeletons are gonna aggro on us and the rabid wolves, and it's just gonna be a whole thing. I don't want to deal with that. Okay. And obviously camouflage does not work on the undead unless you have invisibility versus the undead, like the shaman or the cleric. Alright, sound cue. It's applied. Stick, stop it. Alright, it took me a while to read that. How you doing, pal? So we're just on our druid. Doing a whole lot of nothing. Well, we're doing something. I just discovered that we had 2 different dot lines, so we can apply to 2 different dot damages. I was like, oh. And again, not a druid main. So we're gonna collect some firewood because we need it if we're gonna go out adventuring. I might hop on the archer soon. I'm not really certain. I mean, because the only reason why I want to hop on the archer is to check out the invisibility. I might do that off stream. Not decided yet. But I really wanted to check out the 2 damage lines. And we need to get wood. We need to go out adventuring. There's another archer there. Probably just started. Seeing that he's in mostly rags. Bit of a quiet morning, at least on the game server. I know they're having an issue with their spell books. We can't rearrange them just yet, otherwise we lose the spell. They're specifically telling us not to move the spells around, which is fine. So I mean, it's going to affect every single class, not just spellcasters, because our abilities can't be rearranged in our spell books. The dwarf model looks so chunky. You know what? Oh, where'd he go? Did he just spawn? I was going to cast Speed of the Wild on his pets. You can buff people's pets in this game. A lot of little things you can do. I mean, that I like. I'm like, oh, that's very nice. I like that they added that they thought of that beforehand. I mean, even though it's kind of like tedious to like switch between a lumberjack axe and your main weapon, and do that every time you see a resource node or you're going to get in a fight, there's a purpose to it. And so this helps prevent botting and diminishes it, because I mean, one, it's a niche game. You know, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of botters, but you know, if we make it easier for botters, they're gonna flood in. So if we make it harder, then we're going to see less of that. So they are thinking about the long-term health of the game, which I do like. And that ties into the economy, which they are taking seriously in this game. And that's a big part for me, because like at a certain point I'm like, man, I just want to make some money. I want to be a fantasy tycoon with pointy ears. I typically don't play. I play human for most of my classes. And one of the few reasons why I chose like Wood Elf is because they have infravision. And if I didn't have the option to select human, it'd probably be Wood Elf or Dark Elf. Or Deep Elf. Deep Elf I really want to try for the Inquisitor class. And that looks like so much fun. It reminds me of the Dark Elf. Shadow Knight type of gameplay. I don't know if they're going to have an alignment system in this game. I mean, I think they kind of are with the gods, but I don't... Like, if you're agnostic, like, you're pretty much neutral to everybody. But as far as, like, being a certain race, like, certain races couldn't go in certain areas. Like, if you're a troll, you couldn't go into Kinos. You can go into Freeport, but you had to use the Freeport tunnels. Or, you could grind... faction rep. You would have to have a friend cast an invisibility spell, and then you would have to hand in a bunch of tokens or whatever they were, like bone chips, like we do in this game, to an NPC, and you would have to repeatedly do that so that you wouldn't be killed on sight. Well, we can actually just jump down over here. That's not going to hurt us that much. Or at all. Let's see if we can survive this. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ouch. That's okay. We're a druid. What's this guy got? This guy's got skirmisher on. Hey, pal. Hey, archer. Hey, archer friend. There you go. Enjoy it. You should be... As an archer, getting Speed of the Wild is such a boost in power level. You got to be careful who you're fighting though, because some of these mobs now can dispel Speed of the Wild. That sucks. Okay, I'm in spring, which is fine. I don't mind that. Someone put a campfire down out here? No. Okay. You know what? Let me take a look at our... Well, since we're near the city. Okay, so we got enough for some torches, for some campfires. We're going to sell off the resin, because we don't need that. Oh, well, we're not going to get that soon. Looks like we have a ranger. I think that I'm pretty sure that's a ranger. Ranger has a two-handed sword. That sword looks pretty cool. What sword is that? Let's go ahead and inspect this person. What sword do you got here? Okay, tarnished bronze greatsword. I mean, they may have changed the yeah, that looks better. That sword definitely looks better. But I'm honestly just waiting for... I don't want to play another class unless it's been touched up. So really my class selection is Ranger, or not Ranger, but Druid, Spellblade, Wizard, and Archer. For now. They're thinking about getting all the classes done before early access, and I think early access is... Yeah, I mean, I would say early access is October 1st, right? I mean, unless it's just open beta and early access are two different things. I'm not really sure. Alright. What do we got on ourselves that we can sell to Butcher? Nothing. We'll hit up the cook. See what we need to do for the cook. Or see what the cook can do for us. Alright. Whole lot of nothing. What we got? How much coin do we have on ourselves? Okay, I mean, quite a bit. We can go ahead and get that converted. We'll tidy up our inventory while we're in town. I mean, from the moment-to-moment gameplay, I mean, this is what you're going to be expecting to see all the way up to level 60. And when you get to level 60, I mean, question is, what do you do then? Well, you can go play another class. You can take a break, play a different game. If you really need to. Okay. So what do you do? Since I'm not crafting right now, I can lighten the load. Put the brilstone in there. Put the bolt of cloth in there, because we don't need it. Why would we need that when we're adventuring? Need that? We don't need that. Put that there. And put that in there. We've got to sell some of these things. We could convert them into rawhide canvas if we really want to. But I had no plans on crafting right now. I did do some crafting off stream the day prior. I'm trying to get the hide leather. I think that's the next after rawhide. It's hide as far as an upgrade goes, like bronze, copper, bronze, iron, and then steel, I think, for the plate armor wearers. Do I have anything I can sell? No. And since I'm not really doing any crafting whatsoever, do I have... Question is, do I have... I do have sharpening stone on me, so I could take some of the... Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't we just improve the coin we're about to get out? And we don't really need to do it, but I always like doing it. I always like showing this off because it's kind of like a hidden recipe. And if you haven't been playing the beta since last year, you wouldn't really know that it even existed. Hey, now we got a sharpened scythe. What about a rusty battle axe? We take that sharpening stone, we knock off the rust. Now we got a tarnished one. What about a rusty war lance? Hey! Alright. Well, now we can go ahead and sell. I think it improves every, depending on what it is, it kind of depends on how much it actually improves the quality or the sell. I think maybe like 5 or 6 silver. We can sell that. Sell that. We can sell that. There we go. Got a silver out of it. What armor do I have on here? I'm tattered. Yeah, I can sell that one. Oh. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, we can sell that. We don't need that. We need the space more than we need anything else. And I'll go by our shaman friends. We're going to drop off some of the bone chips. We get XP, we get faction bonus, like we do in Night Harbor when we drop it off to the paladins, but with the added bonus of getting some items, cloth items. And the reason why that's important for us is for crafting later. We gotta, those cloth scraps are in high demand. At least for me right now. There we go, we got 9. We're missing 1, so we're gonna get 1 back, that's okay. Alright, let's take a look at our... Well, not 1, we're gonna get 4 back, because they take a stack of 5. They used to take 1 at a time, but... Did we get any rewards for that? Doesn't seem like we did. That's okay. We can move on. Alright, plus if we get anything in the wild, we can break it down into cloth scraps. Because we need that more than the money is worth. Alright, I think I'm going to go to Keeper's Bite. Tool around there. We'll probably gain a level. Then we'll hop on the Archer. Or, I mean, I'm like really indecisive today what I want to play, because I don't think I'm going to get time to play later. So, the only time I get to play is on the actual stream. Which is unfortunate. Because if you guys don't stream, it's kind of like having someone look over your shoulder. Now, I'm okay with it, but like, you know, you still it's like still kind of like Sometimes you need that me time, right? You need that me time to like think about what you're doing in game instead of narrating it. There we go. Click it until it works. I almost died. I almost fell to my death. I don't know why I tempt fate all the time with that. I just don't really think. And this is partly the reason why we have so many dead bodies here. And if you're a cleric at level 8, you got plenty of work if you come up to the Phelan Drill. Player body over here, player body over there. There's a player body. There's one right there. You know, and some people forget that you actually have to bind to a location in order to spawn there. So, like, if you're bound to Night Harbor and you come all the way over here and then you accidentally fall off there, well, guess what you're doing? You're spending the next 20 minutes transporting your butt all the way over here. Unless you're a druid, in which case you would still probably have to do that. Unless you have a extra spell book, which might be an actual smart idea on our part. Since we have the money, we can go ahead and buy an extra spell. We'll do that like sometime later during the stream when we come back to town. We'll get an additional spell book. And put that in the bank. Right now we're just getting our rest buff. Somebody wants to buy Colossal Scrap, 5 silver a stack, please send tell. That's a fairly low ball offer, I would say. $5 silver for a stack of 20. I mean, I would say they go for like a silver a piece, personally. Or even, like, I would be even willing to sell one for like 10 silver. But 5 silver for a stack of 20 cloth scraps? No. No, thank you. Oh, we got new players around us. Let's take a look at their. We got Speed of the Wild. We don't care about that guy. That's the Speed of the Wild. Okay, all right. Looks like these guys. Somebody took care of these guys. What about this gentleman over here? Does his dog? Hold on. Let's go ahead and buff his pet. Because if you don't buff his pet and just buff the guy, he's gonna outrun his pet, and you don't want to do that. Even on like an elementalist, like the pets are phenomenally slow. Let's take a look at this. Okay, I mean, I don't think we're needed here anymore. I think it's time we go on our merry way. Forgot to sell the resin, but that's okay. We did everything else that we needed to do. I always forget something. I don't know why. Looks like that's an archer. Can I click on this guy? Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and give him a touch of nature here. Let me see. I have... I'm always willing to help somebody in need. Cure disease, we can remove the camouflage and put that on there. Oh, he's already cured. Okay, no need. We're good. Alright, we're looking for the exit to the zone. Is it over here? I don't quite remember. Yeah, it is. I think it is. I think I see the ruins. And my lovely wife joins us in channel. She's honestly probably been here for a bit and just lurking. Alright, we're going to Keeper's Bite. And we'll put down campfire. Right here, I gotta answer a couple texts. People really appreciate putting down a campfire near the zone entrance. I mean, what you should do is you should put the campfire under cover. So if we look over here, the reason why you want to do that, if it rains and you have a campfire out, you're not going to get arrested. Alright, let me go ahead and take a look what some of these people are saying. Okay, should be good. Take a look at that timber wolf. Okay. Oh, we can probably take this guy. We can take this guy. I thought we could take that guy. Did say it was going to be a gamble. Oh, season of summer. That's okay. We can heal tank this guy. Really need to. Let's try to heal tank that guy. Yep. We gotta reapply the dots. That's why it's so important to have sense magic. Alright. So applying 2 of these is 80 damage over a minute. It's a lot. What in the... Oh, okay, so we're not supposed to hunt the bears in here. That's a big no-no. You know, and if you accidentally get into another season, it's perfectly fine. Like, it's not a bad idea to just roll with it, and if you need to be a bit more of an active heal tank, then you can do that, certainly. Let's take a look at the will-o-wisp, which is an actual real thing in real life. Well, I don't know about the actual existence of it, but I mean, like, the folklore about that is actually an actual thing. I think it's a bit darker. All right, well, I wanna tango with the undead. Let's go ahead. Let's do this. Right, we got a frostbite. We got a swarm of mites on there. We got a prickly barrier. We'll put a hot on. We'll try again. There we go. Oh wow, hit him for 23 damage. I've always wondered what these things drop. And it may just be nothing, right? We might just have to kill a few more to see if it actually is just nothing. What does this do? Looks like a crafting reagent. We got our guard over here. Timber wolf. Go ahead and apply the longer buff first, the swarm of mites, and then we'll shift over to frostbite. There we go. The only downside about being in like the Evershade area or Phalendrill is that a lot of mobs are group oriented or social. I don't really know how to describe it, but say you want to attack a black bat, right? And another black bat passes you by, it might just not care. If you attack a snake, it won't care if like another snake is being attacked. But if you hit a wolf, a spider, it seems to care. Quite a deal. Let's go ahead and swarm of mites. There we go. The druid is durable in like in a very different way than it is like the fighter. Like I'm not expecting to like survive certain fights, but I do because of my spell casting. And out of all the classes that I would think that would be really good at soloing, I never considered like the druid to be one of them. We're halfway through the level though, so I mean we're doing pretty good. Take a look at this guy. Alright, now we can go up and punch him in the face. Take a look at our prickly barrier. We got 3 minutes. See if we can end the fight in 3 minutes. Let's put some damage on the other guy. What are we in? Autumn? What's Autumn do again? Healing spells. Okay. But I get a mana regen bonus while I'm here. Okay, what about that forest whelp? What is that conning to me? Oh, okay, still red. That's red. That's also red. Okay. Don't want to go to that region. Well, since we're here and we see wood, let's see if we can gobble it up. I haven't seen any mining nodes out here in the Keeper's Bite, but we'll take a look for them. We'll see if we can find any. Oh, there's a mob inside the geometry of the tree. Okay. It's going to happen sometimes in this game. It's been an ongoing issue since last year. That's green. Oh, that's blue, so we'll go ahead and see what we got in here. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. Cure disease. We'll put sense magic back on the bar. Extremely important if we want to keep track of our dots. Okay. And of course we're going to switch back to our mace. Should have opened up at range, but here we are. I wish I had haste. That's why shamans are good. I do like the shaman buffs a bit better than the druid buffs. Alright. Let's go ahead, open up with our minor frostbite. Put ourselves in attack mode. There we go. And if you notice, there's no attack music, and I do like that, because when you are grinding, you know, you can kind of just zone out. And you're just kind of escaped into this world. Like, that's a really good immersive quality about this game. Now, I don't know if the devs have a plan to change that. They are working on new music for the game. At least when we're discussing the deep area, and so the composer, I think was his first name John. Certainly not John Williams. But he was asking Sean about, like, okay, well, where are all the entrances? What do I see in this? What's the zone about? He was asking all those questions to Sean, and Sean was just answering them for about an hour or two, maybe. What's the Shadow Wolf? Shadow Wolf. Okay. Alright, so over here is where all the red cons are at. Let's take a look. We went inside that church the other day, and there wasn't much in there. I mean, they did have really good lighting quality. Once you stepped in there and saw, like, with the window shades, or windows. I think it might be the same thing at night. You know, the sun rays coming through the windows. I don't think that's an actual dynamic system. I think it's just part of the environment, interior environment. We got about 6 minutes left on our arrested bonus, so we're gonna go find an inn or a tavern. Can I sit in one of these chairs? Will it actually? Nope. I mean, I guess I can. Technically I can, but not the way I want to. These are a bit oversized for an elf. Feel tiny. We're going to wait for our arrested bonus to get back up to 20. We're going to take a look at our buffs here. We got 6 minutes on the prickly barrier. Mantle Winter is the big one that we need to change out for right now. Always something to do on the Druid. Level 12, we get a bunch of new spells, so I'm kind of excited already. Seeing that we're halfway through level 10. Go ahead and cast that. Remove that. Put the hot back on. We can't rearrange our spell bar just yet, until they update us about it. Yeah, so last time I was in a group and I just, like, went completely silent. Like, I was so focused on, like, trying to be good. And we were there for like 5 minutes, and then, like, everyone started dipping out, and, like, they didn't make that very clear to everybody that the group was disbanding. And so I kind of just got left behind in this, like, really dangerous dungeon, and the only way I could get out was, like, the gate. Which is fine, but I mean, like, sometimes grouping with randoms is not a good idea. I really need a group with Slayheim. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody else in this game, as far as grouping goes. Alright. Alright, we can, we'll put a campfire on this hill, because I know there's like an aggressive black bear that does spawn over here. I think here's fine. Well, actually, maybe not. Let's see if we can find like a sheltered. We might just have to say whatever. Is this sheltered? Sheltered. Maybe we can set up a campfire under this awning here. That might be the better option. The reason why, I mean, if you're new to this game, it's kind of like how Valheim works, like when it starts raining. I keep talking about Valheim, and it's going to make me want to play Valheim. It's got a release date, and I think we have a PS5 because me and my wife, we play Helldivers together from time to time. But there seems to be kind of like a content lull right now with it. It gets kind of repetitive, that game, a little bit. Okay. So yeah, we're sheltered. Valheim's a bit of a different story. It is definitely has a lot of classic inspired MMO elements to it, but you can just play it as a single player game, which I do. I want to get her into it. I mean, she's played a little bit, but she thought it was kind of boring, and I was like, well, we're really not playing optimally. We have a PS5, and I think we'll play it on the PS5. All right. We don't want to attack the black bear because apparently they're protected by my silly treekin. Let's see. Okay, no, that didn't apply. Oh, we are. Oh, yeah, we're obviously going to be in the winter season. Yeah, if you apply the mantle winter or summer, you're going to be in either of those two states. Alright, let's take a look at this. I really got to open up with a slower cast before, but I think we've already won this. Let's go ahead and just make this a little bit quicker for us. So we got reflected damage, we got 2 dots on here, and then we got our auto attack going. So I mean, we're applying a lot of damage. Surprisingly robust, I will admit that. I mean, I'm kind of astonished. I was like, oh, man, I thought like druids would be a pushover in combat, and figured I'd be having to worry about them just folding immediately, and it doesn't seem like it's the case. I do want to be careful about grabbing ads. Again, I don't take my own advice when I should be applying the slower buff or slower debuff first. The dot first. I'm sorry, it's not a debuff. Well, let's go. What do we got? Okay. Minor frostbites, warm bite. It is a blue con. We got 16 minutes left on our rested bonus. We do have a campfire not too far away from here. We don't really have any shelter over here. I mean, we could put it in one of the tents. Could have. Right, we could put like right here if we really wanted to. Or maybe even under the bridge. Put it on the bridge. No, we cannot. That is a sheer cliff face. Okay. That's quite alright. Go ahead and do some twisting roots on this guy. Line the swarm of mites. Put herself in attack mode. And then we'll head into battle when we're ready. Oh yeah, so if we also have Mantle Winter, we also have a damage reflect ability on it. Attribute. We'll see if we can hot through the damage. That is a negative. Whoa. Those are some strobe lights, man. Huh. Burnt out lightstone. Okay, cool. That's dope. I don't know what that is. I was also reading on I was looking at the old Druid, and it looks like we had a bear pet, and I was like, oh, awesome, I'm going to have a bear pet, and then I looked and they removed the bear pet. They might bring it back, though, so they'll see. I mean, they had more pet classes than intended, and so that's why they removed it from the Druid. And Druid seems to be fine without it right now. But I feel like I kind of missed out, so I understand like some of the grumbling from the community. I mean, it's not mechanically an issue with the Druid. It's just that certain abilities got removed that were kind of nice to have. Hopefully they'll reinstate it, because that was actually kind of I'm a fan. Like like the Druid isn't particularly a pet class. It doesn't have to be. I'd like to have a bear pet. That'd be cool. Everybody likes pets. I mean, Shaman isn't a pet class either. But that Spirit Wolf is really cool. I mean, you get it at a very late level too, like level 32. So, like you put your work into it. Oh, that was a good hit. At least on me. That was a really good hit. Alright, let's go ahead and put a hot on us. We're going to put another hot on us in a few seconds. Oh yeah, put the campfire way over here. Who's this? Okay. Alright. That person's just chilling out. What's that, a grizzly bear? Another grizzly bear? Uh-oh. This person gonna bite it? I start healing them, they're gonna come after me. Is this person AFK? I mean, all right, we're gonna try to save them. All right, let's run to the guards. They will take care of that for me. Come back, try to save this person. This person is AFK or link dead. I don't know what's going on, but, you know, just try to avoid that person from losing a good chunk of XP. And they will lose a good chunk of XP if we don't intervene. Let's see if we can help them out a little bit more too. Oh fuck. Okay, did they despawn? Did they camp out? I don't know what they did. What happened? Alright, well, whoever that person was, seems like I saved your butt. You're welcome. They'll never know. And I'll never get thanked for it. Checks out. Seems about right. Alright, let's recover our mana, or mana, if you want to be fancy. Alright. I try not to sound like a broken record on my streams, but it's kind of hard sometimes. I just assume everybody is just seeing this for the first time. Oh, that person is there. Should I tell her? Should I tell them? They almost died. Well, I think they're right here. Let's see. I feel like telling them. Looks like that person's having some problems with the internet. Her internet's stable and the game's connection is not. We're just waiting for our mana to get back up. Alright. So that person died. I mean, she would have lost a good chunk of XP, and that would have been a really bad experience for that player. Right, and if I was in that position, you know, I'd want someone to kind of like come in and save me, so hopefully someone can return the favor someday. Attack. Let's take a look at the Mantle of Winter. I think the Mantle of Winter and Mantle of Summer kind of have the same thing. They just, one just does invocation spells, the other one does divination spells. So yeah, I'll deal 1 to 8 damage back to them if I could just get hit while that's active, and then I'll have Prickly Barrier, and then my 2 dots. So we do a lot of damage over time. Surprised some of these are conning green to me now. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool to see. So if you're out there and I see you flailing about, nope, I'll try to save you as much as possible. There are times when I'm like on my like warrior fighter or martial class, and there's nothing I can do because it's going to get me killed. And that's like the worst feeling in the world. It's like, man, I wish I could do something to help you, but I can't. Yeah, I'm not really hitting this guy for some reason. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead, hit him with Minor Frostbite. Some of mites. We are still in the season of summer. It definitely adds up over time. So that's something I do like about the class. You can kind of just, it's like a set and forget a little bit. What else can I do around here? What about this dude right here? A forest whelp. Okay. Yeah, I bet I can take on a forest whelp. Those are my famous last words, by the way. I bet I can do this. Alright. we'll hit him with a couple blasts of sleep. Put a touch of nature on us. See if we can heal through some of that damage. Doesn't seem likely. Doesn't seem like we're going to be able to heal tank this. We're going to have to just hit him from afar. Alright, well, we're going to have to run. That's unfortunate. Sometimes that does happen. I'm out of mana, and I got like two mobs on me. I can't afford to risk it. When in doubt, just play it safe. That's the best advice I can actually get you, or give you. Because again, you don't want to be dying in this game. Not a whole lot. You will die. You will all eventually die in this game. But it's definitely more about risk management. It's like, okay, taking on even, or a white con, which is like even, or like a couple level, or like a level above me, level or two above me, and then I got like another ad. It's like, okay, that's even though it might be a blue con, it's like, okay, I can't really handle all that damage. I don't have enough mana, and so you got to call it, unfortunately, and you got to reset the encounter without the experience. But hey, that's better than just dying and losing all that progress, right? So if I die right now, it'll probably take away half this bar. That's a lot. It's a lot of work. I don't want to deal with that. It's gonna make me want to play another class. And we are now in the season of autumn, so like our heal spells will keep us are like 5% more effective, and then we get a mana regen bonus. It seems slow right now, but it is fast compared to when we're in like winter or summer. We just have a deeper mana pool to pull from. So like we have like 327 mana right now, so it's gonna take a while for it to like get back up, but at least we'll be able to regen it relatively quickly. I was playing the cleric the other day off stream, and I gotta say I kind of like it. I kind of like what they did with it. Now they changed it somewhat since I played it last year. I initially played that class because one of the YouTube commenters, like I don't know, it was like mid-level commenters. I forgot who it was, but like, oh well, you can actually level with this class. It's like, yeah, you can. I mean, it's slow, but if you want to level fast, if you want to do a lot of damage to mobs, you're gonna have to fight certain mobs. You gotta go on a crusade. You gotta fight the undead. And that's the part of the charm of the class. It's like, oh, okay, like I can only really go into certain areas, and if I go in these certain areas, like I turn into like a whole new class. And I'm like, I really like that. I don't like the idea of just being a healer. Now, when I was in that group yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? The day before. It's yesterday. I didn't stream. I kind of felt like the third wheel. I was like, I don't really need to damage anything. I just kind of need to figure out. Oh, dope. Okay, let's try this. This is the first time I've seen just a copper node in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so it's still like copper out here, which is interesting. Okay, that's cool. We got 7 minutes on our speed of the wild. Okay, well, why don't we go back to the campfire, because we're going to need it. So you sense magic. Okay, so we'll try to rebuff as much as we can here. Got 32 minutes on. And then we gotta hit Woodskin. Oh, we already did that. 1 hour, and then sense magic. Bring that back up. There we go. Just down to rest. Recuperate the mana, and then we'll go back out and try to get in some trouble. Some good trouble. A little bit of tomfoolery. I would consider tomfoolery like griefing other players, like a little bit. I do kind of want to run a train on a player, a little bit, like a little bit, but I can't do that here. I can't do that during the beta. I gotta be on my best behavior. You know, well, the standing orders are kind of just to, you know, play nice. But when the game launches, we'll see. We'll see how much that is allowed. As long as I'm not like egregious with it, I don't think it's going to be an issue. All right, we're good. Let's go. Let's get back out there. All right. Green, green, blue, white. We'll go ahead and there we go. Yeah, there needs to be some sort of like feedback with the frostbite, because there really isn't right now. Alright. Then we'll run up and we'll punch this guy in the face. Oh, here, let me go ahead and do this. Yeah, alright, we got a low quality wolf pelt. Nope, 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 don't want to do that. Alright, now we gotta be careful because we're in the season of winter. And we want to try to avoid killing the black bears because they're protected. Because apparently that's a thing in this game. Alright. Dots have been applied. Swarm of mines, minor frostbite. Taking a look at our rested bonus, we're at 17 minutes. I mean, this game isn't fast, but you do have to kind of keep track a lot depending on what class you are playing. Okay, we got both dots applied. Take a look at our damage reflect buffs. Seem to be good. We can go ahead and apply a touch of nature and heal tank this guy for a little bit. And do it again. And do it again. Coup de grace with the Sleet of Ice. Oh, maybe we won't need it. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Swarm of Lights. Minor Frostbite. Pretty much guaranteed to win this fight. I really got to put a tag on there saying, like, it's like I can go longer if, like, people are talking to me, like in chat, although I do get distracted from playing the game. And that happens with, like, everybody. I just, like, oh, I get on a tangent, I'm just, like, kind of just playing. Now, we have this, I had this saying, me and my internet friends who've played MMOs for a long time, we call it jumping on tents. And where that came from was Warhammer Online. I don't know why I tried to root this guy, but that was a silly waste of mana. And so basically we'd all log in and we try to play the game, and then we just get to talking and we're in like the main city and we're just jumping on tents talking about like really deep issues. Right, let's try to heal our way out of this a little bit. We'll put ourselves in autumn or spring. Spring, the next one, I believe. Because spring, we get that mana regen. And that mana regen is very important to us. I'm going to sit down for a second. Oh, there's a pile of wood here. We can claim. This is ours. This is all ours. I don't know if there's a survivalist inside the small town, the village. But I do like, mechanically speaking, I like the way the Druid plays. I don't necessarily identify with the class. I'm sorry, Druid mains, like, the whole tree hugger aspect is a bit much for me. But I get why you play it. I think you play it more for the mechanical aspect of being able to be self-sufficient and being able to go out there and solo. There's a lot of Druids out here. In fact, the devs just posted like an update about the last playtest, and Druid is the one of the most played classes out there, followed by the Shaman, which is interesting because the Shaman hasn't been touched up yet. But then it's like followed by the Spellblade, and then like Wizard, and then like Archer. I think Archer's somewhere still down the line. But Archer's a good class. It's a very slept-on class, I would say. Like, people really discount it. They're like, oh, it's just a ranged DPS. It's like, well, It's a ranged DPS that can kind of solo fairly effectively. Doesn't have a lot of the utility of the druid, unless we're talking about traps and special arrows, which again I need to get a little bit more familiar with off stream, because I do like the archer class more than I like the druid, although I am playing the druid because it does seem a bit more forgiving than the archer, I would say. But the archer is a phenomenal class. What they did with it is I like it a lot. Go ahead and sit down for a second. Cover some of our mana. Allow the hot to apply. We also need to put up our prickly barrier. Alright. We'll hit this guy with Swarm of Mites. Frostbite. Take a look at Mantle Winter. We've got 20 more minutes left on that. By the time we go back to camp, we can recast Mantle Winter. And we want to stay in spring for that, as long as possible for that mana regen. Oh, okay. That's a white con. We can probably take that guy. These are some sheer. You know what? Let's take a look at what's over here. Is there anything in the water that's going to kill me? One of the few skills that I pick, consistently pick, is a swimming. There is a marsh adder. An adder is a snake. Let's see what that marsh adder is. Okay, so it's red. Not necessarily a good sign for us when that we're over here. But I just kind of have to explore sometimes. I mean, we're almost leveled. I always want to check if it's like an illusionary wall, because there are illusionary walls in this game. Okay, I'm assuming that the devs are going to fill this out a little bit more later on. I'm surprised snakes in this game are just like indifferent, not like hostile. Maybe that's different in different zones, but so far, like, snakes and spiders typically are indifferent, except for, and we saw this when I was out there running around trying to get to Night Harbor on foot with my druid. There were some desert like creepers, right? And they had invisibility on. Now I never knew these things existed, so I put like see invisibility on it just in case I would run into anything like that. And I was on my ranger last year in November, and I was running around exploring those areas, and I had no idea those things were out there. Absolutely clueless. So I either got very lucky, or I was just really attentive to putting on what was it? invisibility towards beasts. So I mean, that would make me invisible to them. So anytime I was up, I would, or anytime I was going down, I would put cast that back on myself. So that's probably what saved me when I was running out there with Mind Ranger last year, exploring, because those things you can't see, and they're red, so they can hit you fairly hard. There we go. And there's a reason why I put the fireplace under that cover. Fireplace. Campfire. Oh, interesting. There's a wood pile right here. That's cool. Looks like that. It's a rich wood pile too. Neat. I'll take all the wood I can get. All right. Oh, another one. Okay. I don't think there's a bank in here. There's an inn, and that's really about it. Tannery. There's a tannery. It looks like my fire pit despawned. So I don't know what governs that, Little Brother Juro. We'll go ahead and wait. No, I don't want to do that. Wait, no. Okay. There we go. Then we'll take a look here. We'll remove that. Put Mantle Winter on there. So we're about to run out. Wait for that to wind up. Let's see, what's our wood skin at? We'll probably cast that one more time. Aberration. Okay. Yeah, so we're just going to relax here for a bit. We're going to wait for our rested buff to reapply. We're back in the winter. Put back our hot. There's our hot. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then we'll recover our mana and get our rested buff. It is going to be a shorter stream today. Again, usually, I think up until like Wednesday or Thursday. Those are the days, or Thursday is when I can start doing longer streams, but usually these days I got like 2 or 3 hours to stream, and that's really about it. And then I gotta go do I gotta go be an adult. Unfortunately, I can't be a kid. Can't be a big kid anymore. The only reason why I miss being a kid is I just didn't have any responsibility. I think it's okay, you know. I think it's okay to, like, if you want to. Well, again, I'm like retired, right, from the military, so I don't really have to have like a regular job. I do need to make extra money every now and then. I'll tutor kids, and that's the actual side hustle that I actually do make money on. But it's summertime, and so like I'm only seeing like one kid right now, and that's about enough for me. And I'm just like, I was kind of hoping to have a break a little bit, and then get back into it. I've learned my lesson with attacking black bears. I mean, but I am so excited to play a Deep Elf Inquisitor. I'm thinking they're gonna before they release the Deep Elf City and the Deep Elves and the Deep Gnomes. Deep Gnomes look hilariously good. That's the best way I can describe it. Before they do that, I think they're going to touch up on the classes that they're going to be able to play. So wizards, we already kind of know that probably the Deep Elves or Deep Gnomes can play a wizard. Spellblade they already did, so Spellblade the Deep Elves are going to be able to play that. But they haven't touched Inquisitor just yet. Sit down and recover. There are days when I miss being in the army, for sure. But then again, my experience was wartime, and so peacetime experience is like a very different experience from a wartime army. And what I mean by that is there's a lot more, like when you're in garrison, there's a lot of pump and banditry, and so there's a lot of bullshit things you got to deal with that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things and when you're dealing with combat situations. Like no one is gonna really care if your boots are bloused in the middle of a firefight, right? Or if you're wearing like cover in the middle. I mean, as long as you're wearing your K-pot, but like no one's gonna care if you have your top off, especially if it's like 120 degrees out there and you're throwing lead down range. We'll go ahead and root this guy. Actually, let's see if we can heal tank this guy. We got a little bit more mana to play around with, so we can apply a little bit more damage. We want to stay in. Oh, are we in winter still? Oh, okay. We don't need to be in winter. There we go. Spring. We need to be in spring. Spring is a way better thing for us right now, because then we can just go ham. Very cool. Alright, Wasp Poker. Alright, let's go ahead and root this guy. Go and apply Minor Frostbite. Swarm of Mites. Patch ourselves up a little bit. Throw some frost bolts at this guy. Alright, we'll go and let our prickly barrier and mantle winter help us out here with the damage. And our auto attack. I mean, we got one bar left, guys. We're gonna be at level 11. I'm excited because then we get the jackal form and get a bunch of new spells that I've already forgotten about. We'll cast another heal on ourselves. Well, I guess we don't have to. We're gonna finish this fight. Let's consider this. Okay, so he's done with his. Alright, that's a bit concerning. I shouldn't have done that. There we go. Okay. Same thing with this guy. Put ourselves in attack mode, that might help. Alright. Let's go ahead and put Touch of Nature on us. Lesser heal. There we go. We're letting our dots do the work. Got another 40 seconds on Prickly Barrier. So there's a lot to manage in this game. I mean, at least for the Druid. I mean, it's very engaging. I don't think this is going to be the class that I'm going to take all the way up to 60, though. I may take it up to 16. 16 is when we get the teleports. And I can start charging people for the teleports. I mean, I don't really want to. I mean, I kind of want to. Those are ways to make money. I mean, you got Sangreet Sands or whatever it is, and then you got the Evershade portal. And so instead of like 15-20 minutes, you talk to a Druid friend, hey, like for 5 silver I can port you over here. I saw some guy offering like 10 silver for buffs and a teleportation. I was like, well, I mean, I'd probably just throw in the buffs for free. I mean, personally, that's just me. I'm going to operate a Druid transportation service. But yeah, I think all those teleportation come out to level 16, which is very good for like the Druid. I mean, like the cool spells for like other classes like come out at a very later date or later level, like Shaman. Shaman, I want that Spirit Wolf. That Spirit Wolf is at level 32. Like it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while to get that. Oh, it's already 1:15. My wife will be home soon. Okay, well, so like I said, I mean, yeah, it's going to be a shorter stream, but we're going to try to get this to level 11, and then the next time we play, which I think is going to be tomorrow, we will try to get to level 12, get our Jackal form and our Wolf form, and have fun with that. But hopefully I can level before she gets home, and then I can vacuum the house. Oh, why am I doing that? I don't want to do that. There we go. Oh, I also need to reapply my weight stone. There you go. I'm gonna hit that just that much harder, so again, we don't have much to go. I think we can do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can do this. I think we got this. I gotta switch these up. I gotta open up the, because I have, like, in my mind, it's like, okay, like, this is the rotation that I want. I want to be able to hit with twisting roots. Maybe it really should be, these should be swapped around, because it should be dot, dot, and then damage. There we go. Expedite that damage. Okay. Go ahead. Swarm of Mites. It should be Swarm of Mites first, then Frostbite. Because that really should be the opener. Either this should be the opener, or the Swarm of Mites should be the opener. Frostbite. Right up. There we go. Coup de grace. There we go. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead. Swarm of Mites. Actually, I finally see, okay. It's rematch time. Let's do this. Alright, so this really was what should be happening. Twisting Roots. Put myself in attack phase. Swarm of Mites. Minor Frostbite. That's 80 damage over a minute. Hit him with some direct damage spells. Get some early damage on him. Try to heal tank as best as possible. We are going to burn through some mana here. Check our dots. They need to be reapplied. Prickly Barrier is not on. My mistake. How's wood skin? Okay. Alright. Hit ourselves with a heal spell. We'll try again. There you go. Coup de grace. Another one. There we go. Very cool. Ourselves with touch nature. We'll go ahead and sit down for a second. Big fight. Wasn't too bad though. They can hit pretty hard. I will say that. And since we have a big mana pool, this mana regen, even though we have a buff to it, it's going to seem like it's slow, but it really isn't. I do kind of wish it would scale a little bit more. Maybe it does. We'll see. Again, I'm not like an expert on this class. This is the first time I'm trying it. As far as like trying to like main it and like understand it. And when I was in a group with it, I mean, I did feel like the third wheel. But it also gave me like a lot of agency to where it's like, okay, well, what's this person doing? Okay, how's this person going? Okay, what's going on with the healer? Is the healer all right? Okay, the healer's got that. Okay, I'll root the mob. So it gives you a lot of tactical control since you're not really good at any one particular thing, because we already have like damage with the archer and a rogue. We got a tank, and we got heals coming from a cleric. So I'm like what do I do, right? Like, not a whole lot, right? And then we also had a necromancer. So really, I was just kind of there for, yeah, support, being the actual support class, picking up the slack where others couldn't. All right, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Ooh, Lisp. Let's go ahead and hit you with some lights. Oh, they are group oriented. Should have known. Let's go ahead and get some other damage on this guy too. Try again. Switch back to this guy. Put some extra damage on him. Attempt that again. There we go. Oh. Alright, we'll go ahead and switch to healing. Dots are still active. Direct healing is needed. It's probably a good idea then to apply those dots early. Alright, what are we? Still in spring? Very good. Sit down for a bit. We've got 12 minutes on a rested buff, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're almost there. We're almost there. And once we ding, I gotta go, unfortunately. But fairly productive. Alright, come on. I gotta go clean the house and everything. I might be on later. I always say that. I never know if I will. I may stream, I may not be. You know, because sometimes I do just want to play the game by myself, right? Or at least not necessarily by myself, but like, I don't want to stream it. Kind of need some me time with it. But since this is one of the more popular classes, I figure, you know what would be good? Let's take an experienced player with the game, but put him in a class where he's not experienced with, and see how that goes. See what my first impressions are. And so far with the Druid, I mean, it is. I keep coming back, and I'm not necessarily ever disappointed with it. Even though I don't like wearing leather, I'm not a spellcaster. I don't like how it tanks, but like I mean, as far as the moment-to-moment gameplay, the decisions you have to make, it's good. It's a good setup. Now, there are other druids out there that have played it before the revamp, and we did have a bear pet. Did I just do that to myself? Jesus Christ. Okay, that was silly of me. Let's see, is this a disease or what is this? Poison damage. Do I have cure poison? I think I do. I think it's it's just not. I never bought it, so it's a poison. Okay, well, we'll wait. We'll wait. It's the first time that's ever happened. dumb. Why would we... You can cast damage spells on yourself, which is great. And like in a group setting, like that can cause some issues. So you always kind of have to pay attention. So I do like it, but I don't like it at the same time. Alright, we're almost there, guys. We're getting damage from the prickly barrier, mana winter 2, and then the dots, as well as our auto attack, which I have said repeatedly. But I'm amazed at how much damage it actually does over time. It's like, oh, this is actually quite a lot of damage. It's more about outlasting your opponent than it is about killing them quickly. With the Druid, at least that's what it seems like, and I could be wrong. I mean, but that's what it appears to be. Let's go ahead and rebuff. There we go. Swarm of Mites as our opener. Minor Frostbite. Okay, we got this in the back. There we go. What do we get? We got a wasp wing. That's okay. Put ourselves in attack mode. Try again. There we go. Alright, Frostbite and Swarm of Mites have been added. Let's go ahead and try to heal tank for a bit. Put lesser heal as well. Well, actually, what we'll do is we'll just do more damage because we need to stay in spring. That's some good XP. Sit down for a second. Alright, opening up with Swarm of Mites. And that's what I found out like yesterday. I was looking at like another Druid video. Certainly a more experienced Druid player. And they were talking about having two damage dot lines on there. And I was like, oh, you can cast them at the same time. I didn't even think about that. I was like, that's really cool. On the guy, okay, both of them are on. Go ahead and do some damage. Try again. Try it one more time. Try again. There we go. Alright. Hey, ding. Alright. We are level 11. Level 11. Nice. Next level. That's where it's at, man. Well, level 16 I'm more excited about because then we get teleportation. And I don't have to take the boats anymore. I can just work between Night Harbor and Evershade. So I'm always like curious for like from the game design, like why would the developers like have this particular class as like the solo king? or just a really strong solo. This one of the stronger solo classes. It's not the only one. Like the pet classes are fairly strong at soloing. So is the archer. But as far as like self-sufficiency, like you're able to warp between the major cities, and I imagine you're going to be able to warp to like all the major cities, around like all the major cities, because there's going to be druid circles everywhere around the continent. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end the stream. I appreciate it, everybody kind of stopping by and just kind of lurking in the channel. Again, these days, I think until like Thursday, that's when I can do longer streams, or if you're like talking to me, I can do it longer. But today I gotta get off a little bit earlier, so appreciate you guys sticking around and just listening and watching the game. So, okay, I'll see you guys out there. Have a good one.